Hey, what's up guys? Thought I would give a little mini review of this game. I'm also knocking out some trophies. Getting pretty close to having the platinum. I finished Berserk difficulty today and it was quite the ordeal to get through. It wasn't really difficult, it was just really annoying. The enemies have like a ridiculous amount of health and it feels like you pretty much have to spam these items. Now this game is kind of like Transformers. You might remember Transformers Devastation. It didn't really dock you for using items at all. It's like one of the first character action games I've played I've played pretty much all of them at some point. That didn't knock you at all. Like this docks you a little bit, but the like penalty is like so minuscule that it doesn't really matter. So I started abusing these power gems like crazy. Like if you go to your Super Saiyan, Henshin mode or whatever, and you use the power gem too, and you have the technique ring on, then the bosses pretty much just fall apart, even on the harder difficulties. The way I beat the final boss was I used this, which just makes you invincible for a short period of time. I just went into Super Saiyan mode. I had the clumps of blood, which you can't buy in a shop. You can only get them from drops on the field. I used that to just get my transformation instantly, and I popped the Magatama necklace and a power gem, and then I pretty much just mashed buttons. The bosses are definitely, I've said this before, but after like my third playthrough, I can definitely say that they are the worst part of this game. Like the cool part about this is just how robust the switch mechanics are. Like if you do a super and you switch, then the character will stay in the animation. And if you switch back to them, then they're still stuck in it, but since you switch to another character, you can continue the combo that way. So you can also, chain supers like crazy. If you have 2 or 3 of the characters with super bar ready, you can go through them all in quick succession and pretty much just destroy everything. I like the movement too, you can switch around, you can switch with one character and dash to another enemy and continue the combo. That's what's really fun about this game. It's kind of the opposite of a lot of other character action games where the meat of it, like the stylish stuff that you do, is on bosses. You do like no damage clears and stuff like that. In this game, it's just like really not, the boss battles are not well designed enough to warrant actually doing stuff like that. The main issue, aside from them not staggering, that's definitely probably the biggest issue, is that a lot of your moveset, you can't really use it safely because they don't stagger. There are a couple bosses, I think like the big golem guy or ogre guy and the wolf. I think they are the only ones that can be staggered. If you do like a cool combination on them, then they get staggered for a short period of time, and you can get pretty much a full ultimate combination on them safely. Everyone else does not stagger at all, so it's like you kind of revolve around, or you just rely on just spamming your Super Saiyan mode and power gems and stuff like that. I went through the first playthrough not using any of these items at all. I didn't even really know they were in the game, and I probably would have been a lot less pissed off at the bosses if I had done that. So if you play this game, especially on hard and above, you definitely want to make use of these items. I don't know, this isn't really like a hardcore character action game. This game kind of came and went in the community as far as I know, and I'm pretty sure the reason for that is just the bosses don't really allow for much stylish application. You can parry them, you can do your kind of mini witch time dodge counterattack, but the problem is they have so much health that you would probably have to do it like over 100 times or more to kill them that way. So it would be like minutes and minutes of just doing the same attack over and over. It would not be interesting. I just decided to just throw all that crap out the window, and I just started spamming these items. They're definitely the worst part, and I hope that I think this game sold pretty well. I don't really think they put a lot of money into it, and it seems like there aren't that many mid-tier games like this out anymore. I'm sure you've noticed everything is pretty much like AAA Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, multi-million-dollar marketing budget, and then several million more to make the game. And then you have indie games which are made by like, people like me on a shoestring budget with their friends. Or, you have a few that are like crowd-funded that are still, they're have a larger budget, but they're still like minuscule compared to AAA. There's not really that much in the middle ground anymore. You don't have that many games like this or Basara, some of the other stuff that I've covered. So I think it's cool that this game exists. It's just that I hope that if they make another one, they're able to find a better balance. Even if the bosses still don't stagger to anything, there should still be like at least like a stun mechanic or something. Maybe like you counter them and they get stunned for a few seconds and you can stagger them that way. At the very least, you can use more of your moveset safely. One of the issues that goes with playing the bosses and not taking damage is if you use these two characters, if you do a dodge with them, you get kind of like a witch time counter. If you push the square button, then they do a counter attack, and it actually does quite a bit of damage on normal enemies, but it does barely any on the bosses. And if you're dodge offsetting to get to your ultimate combination, and you dodge into an attack, then it resets your stream. So it's like, I haven't found much application for the dodge offset in this, unfortunately. I guess if you're on the opposite end of the map and you can dodge offset like 10 times or so to get to the last part of your square string, then maybe you could do it, but it's probably faster to just use the items and just spam the square button. I feel like this game has a really high skill ceiling. There are a couple enemies in the game, especially on the harder difficulties, where the combo system actually matters. It's just that even then, like, I was doing like literally minute-long combo videos on my Berserk mode playthrough. I will try to access my Twitch account on the PS4 web browser since my computer's still out of commission. I'll try to put that up for you guys so you can see just how bad it gets. But after you beat Berserk, you get this ring, which gives you permanent devil trigger, but it also depletes your health. But I just did like 2 or 3 runs with it just to test it out for like speed runs and stuff like that. If you have the vampiric ring, which you should definitely have by the time that you get this, because you're gonna run out of things to buy in the shop. At this point, like, I'm using all my money towards items, and I think if I go for the no damage boss trophy, I'm just gonna spam the Magatama necklace. But if you have these two items, they synergize really well together, and you don't really seem to run out of health. It seems like I don't know if it's even worth going through the other difficulty. Like, the enemies are already like ridiculous HP sponges on Berserk. I can't even imagine how much more health they'll have. I think they're gonna have like double or triple the health, because hard to Berserk was like a big jump. Like, the bosses were still pretty meaty, but they still went down pretty fast, even without the items and stuff like that. Whereas here, it's like they have so much more health. I don't know. I think I will probably speedrun this game. It's just I kind of have to wait until the PC is done, or the PC is repaired, because you can only record like 15-minute videos on the PS4, and I can't have splits running and stuff like that. I don't have any other kind of computer device aside from my Vita, and you can't get like live split running on that or anything. So that's gonna have to wait until I get the computer back, or rather I get it fixed. In terms of that, it's going to be about $150, like I said, and I don't have anywhere near that amount of money right now, so I don't know when it's going to get fixed. I am assuming worst case scenario, it'll probably be June, once I get back from my vacation, and I won't really have anything I need to buy aside from Ode Sphere, which is probably only going to be like $50-$60. I can't really do requests right now, or at least not to the extent that I did in the past. I've done funding stuff in the past and for you guys, and I've taken requests and stuff like that. But right now I'm kind of limited. I really only have the stuff that I can do on PS4. I could risk doing Vita stuff, but there's just the issue that the computer is prone to turning off. I honestly haven't even turned it on in a week, and it just hasn't been worth the stress. Like, if you've ever dealt with a computer randomly turning off, you would know, even if you don't have like, diagnosed anxiety like I do, it's pretty like nerve-wracking to not know when your computer's gonna turn off. You're playing a game and it auto saves and it turns off, your shit's gonna get corrupted and you can lose however many hours of work you put into it. And you're working on like an essay or something and you haven't saved in a while, or a forum post or something like that, and it turns off. So I haven't even bothered. But if people do decide to help me out, I guess what you can do is you can give me a request for the future, and when I do get it funded, I'll try to get that out as soon as possible. Otherwise, you'll have to kind of just put up with what I have right now. Right now, I have this and Phantom Breaker and Kamen Rider are like my main native PS4 games. The rest is all pretty much just cross-buy stuff, like the indies that I buy on Vita and stuff like that. That's pretty much all I have. If you guys want a request from any of those games, you can go ahead and let me know. I'm pretty much done with this game. Probably later today, after I have lunch or whatever. I don't have much to do today. I'm probably gonna go through the last difficulty, and then at that point I'll be ready for the speed run. So after that, I'll probably be taking requests. If you want, you can hit me up on here or on Twitter. Those are the best places to get to me, because I can't really get to my Twitch private messages right now, and this is kind of annoying to get to them. You can hit me up. I'll try to update you guys on what the status of the PC is. Like I said, what's nice is that once I do get the money to get the repairs done, it'll pretty much be a new computer. It should remove all the stuttering and artifacting on my stream and stuff like that. So if that's been a turn off for you, that'll probably be my stream will be more watchable. I may be able to run some better stuff in the future. It will be easier for me to upgrade later on. Like I was thinking of maybe after I get this repairs done, maybe in the fall I'd upgrade to like a GTX 970 or something, and then I probably won't need any other upgrades for a while. But yeah, that's my little mini review for Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. I have enjoyed my time with this game, but I kind of felt dirty spamming the items and stuff like that. But it seems like they knew that their bosses were annoying, and they're really annoying to fight, you know, especially repeatedly. So using the items really doesn't dock you much at all. It seemed like it docked me 15,000 points for, they actually give you a bonus of 15,000 points for not using items, and you tend to get like millions, at least if you play the way I do. So it doesn't really seem to dock it that much. I will definitely be speedrunning this game once the computer's fixed. So if you guys have any requests, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Peace.